Hello, everyone, and welcome to Triple T episode 5. That's tips, tricks, and you know it, tutorials. Today, we're spotlighting Do It Again by Steely Dan. And if you've been following our tutorials thus far, this is a pretty quick turnaround for us. Like I said, I'm trying to churn these out more frequently. If you were with us last time, you learned Toto's Georgie Porgy, which was our first foray into yacht rock. We're going to be sticking in the 70s here for Do It Again, which is the first single off the first album and the first track on that album by Steely Dan, 1972. If you don't know Steely Dan, man, you are missing out. They're one of the greatest bands still living. Donald Fagen and Walter Becker, the two Scurvy brothers. Although Becker did pass away like a year or two ago, we're still with Donald Fagen, Mr. Nightfly himself. And this one is a real spotlight on Donald Fagen's keyboard and organ abilities. If you're just joining us, I'm going to split this into two parts like I did Nothing from Nothing. The first part of the video is going to be on the keyboard part, and then the second on the organ solo. So pretty cool. So definitely check out part 2. So what exactly is Donald Fagen playing on this? Well, I think it's a whirly. So I have a whirly with a little tremolo back and forth movement on it. But maybe you think it's a Rhodes. Maybe make a comment. Are you Team Rhodes or Team Whirly? We'll have to just wait and see what you guys think. Either way, they'll both sound pretty close to the recording. The thing that you really want to nail is the voicings in this song. So let's get into that. The whole thing is really this minor blues kind of one chord-ish jam. I'd say of all the Steely Dan songs, which are known for kind of having a lot of complex chord progressions, this is probably the simplest. It's only, 4 chords. And most of that is just hanging on the G minor. It's kind of a one chord Latin-y jam. And really interesting. Victor Feldman on percussion. He was huge in the 70s and 80s. I think he played on Thriller and he played on everyone's record. Look him up. Really important percussionist. Gives it that Latin flavor, which is really appropriate. Our song's lyrics are about follies and vices, gambling, violence, women, and it kind of takes us into this kind of forbidden era zone where the song is kind of supposed to be about. These things that keep calling us back even though they're detrimental to us. Anyways, let's get into these voicings. So like I said, we're in the key of G minor, and it starts with these fourth voicings. Remember the stacked fourths from Georgie Porgy? We're doing a similar thing, only just one at a time instead of 2 on top. So the first fourth is F and B flat, then D and G, then C and F. All right? I usually finger it 3 and 5 on the top, 2 and 4 in the middle, and 1 and 3 on the bottom. You can also kind of do something else, maybe 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 1 and 2. There's a couple different ways to play this riff. I think that using just all of your fingers, so the first one I showed you, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1, 3, is the easiest. It'll take some time to develop because it takes some finger strength because you're using every finger in the hand. But in the end, it's the simplest and probably most effective way to play it. So that part, those fourths stack together like this. Let me play it slowly. Cool, and then we repeat. Notice at the end, we vary from the pattern when we do that bottom fourth, C and F, but we add the G on top. This gives us a G sus7 chord. Actually, a lot like the stacked fourth, only we put the G on top. So it's kind of the stacked fourth in disguise, if you will. And that's 2 of those into the repeating of the form. Cool, so that's the right hand for the verse of the song. That takes you the whole verse. And you repeat that whole thing 4 times. So, like I said, it's a one chord, very open jam. Not a lot of changes in this tune. But the bass helps push it along. You can hear it's kind of a tumbao, Latin style bass line. And again, that's G, low G to a high G, Hit that G again. D, G. Let me play it in time, a little slow. Together, they sound like this. They sound like this. Cool. So you can kind of hear how well they fit together. And I will be honest, that is a lot harder than it sounds. Even to play it slow, it took me a couple days to coordinate those two hands. But stick with it. Really, keep grinding and you will figure it out. Separate the hands, go slow, metronome, do all the usual things that your piano teachers told you over the years, because they will help you coordinate that part. It is a little tricky. Cool. So after we play that, we go into the turnaround, right? Back, Jack, do it again. And this is our first change of chord. It's going to go to a C minor 7, B flat, E flat, G, to a D minor 7, C, F, A, and E flat major 7, D, G, B flat, and then back to that D minor 7. And sometimes I like to add a little bit B flat A G, which is kind of a movement based off the melody. It's a harmony, technically, the melody, but do it again. Back, Jack, do it again. And then we're back to the groove. And then the second time we do the back Jack, I go to a C minor 9, D, E flat, G, B flat. Then D, F, A, C for just a root position D minor 7. Then a root position E flat major 7, E flat, G, B flat, D. And here I get the actual melody. D, C, B flat. Back to the D minor 7. Back, Jack, do it again. And then the stinger, the hit right at the end of the intro and the end of the piano solo, which kind of turn us around back into another section. And that is a D on the bottom and a C, D, G on top. Interesting. So this is kind of our 5-chord turnaround. Typically in a minor key, minor blues even as well, we use a dominant 7 because it gives us a really strong cadence, but this is a little looser. The whole song is kind of atmospheric and psychedelic in a way. It's kind of floating along. And using a stacked 4th, right, even though it's in a different inversion, D, G, C, it gives us that feel without having that 3rd in it. So it's a little more open, which I think fits the song really nicely. And that's the whole piano part. So take some time, learn that, and once you're done with that, go ahead and click on the next video because you're not going to want to miss this iconic organ solo, which is the real reason why I honestly did this video. A lot of the videos go over the main piano part pretty well. The organ solo is a little bit of an untouched frontier. So please comment, like, subscribe, post your renditions of this song, and we'll see you in part 2 where we go over the iconic organ solo. Later, gang. See you soon.
In the